You flip on the air conditioning wife one button end, never give it a thought. But this invention wasn't built to keep you cool. It was built to stop paper from wrinkling in a print shop. This story begins with a problem that had nothing to do with people at all. Brooklyn, New York, the year 1902. Inside the Sackett Wilhelm's Lithographing and Publishing Company, everything is going wrong. The humid New York summer swells the paper, shrinks it, warps it. Color printing needs every layer laid down perfectly. And here, every shift in moisture pushes the colors off by millimeters. The print shop is losing money on every ruined batch. The ink won't dry, the paper jams in the machines, the clients complain. So the company turns for help to the Buffalo Forge Company, a maker of heating and ventilation systems. The problem lands on the desk of a 25-year-old engineer. Willis Carrier has just finished his studies at Cornell University and works in Buffalo Forge's experimental department. He's young, he's ambitious, and he has an idea nobody has tried before. The solution comes to Carrier on a foggy evening, standing on a railway platform in Pittsburgh. Staring into the mist, he realizes he can control the moisture in air by passing it through chilled water. Cold air holds less humidity. Cool it to just the right temperature, and the moisture drops to exactly the level you want. On the 17th of July, 1902, Carrier switches on his system inside the Brooklyn print shop. Air flows through coils filled with chilled water. The temperature falls, and the humidity finally steadies. The paper stops wrinkling. The colors line up at last. But Carrier isn't just fixing a print shop. He's building something far bigger. In 1906, he's granted patent number 808,897 for an apparatus for treating air. That same year, Stuart Warren Kramer uses the term air conditioning for the very first time. A new era finally has a name. In 1911, Carrier presents a paper to the American Society of Mechanical Engineers that changes everything. Rational psychrometric formulae. It sounds dull, but it's the Magna Carta of air conditioning. With it, engineers can precisely design cooling systems for any building they like. Industry seizes on it immediately. Textile mills, tobacco plants, print shops, anywhere humidity and temperature shape the quality of a product, air conditioning becomes a necessity. But it's still a technology for machines, not for people. That's about to change. And it's Hollywood that does it. 1920s. American movie theaters have a serious problem. In summer, nobody wants to sit in a stuffy, dark room packed with strangers. Attendance collapses to nothing in the hottest months. Theaters, which have to be dark and sealed, turn into ovens. In 1925, Willis Carrier installs an air conditioning system in the Rivoli Theatre on Times Square in New York. The premiere lands on Memorial Day, right before the summer peak. Audiences walk in and can't believe it. Inside, it's cool. The effect is instant. People start going to the movies not just for the films, but simply for the cool air. Theaters hang banners reading, "Cooled by refrigeration." By 1930, more than 300 American theaters have air conditioning. Weekly attendance doubles, from 40 million in 1922 to 80 million in 1928. And so the summer blockbuster is born. Crowds pour into air-cooled theaters in July and August, and the studios begin saving their biggest premieres for summer. Air conditioning doesn't just save the movie business, it creates the whole culture of summer entertainment we still know today. But the real revolution arrives after the Second World War. In 1945, Robert Sherman brings the first portable window air conditioner to market. It costs a fortune, but the promise is irresistible. cool air in your own home. Prices fall fast. By the 1950s, window units are within reach of the middle class. And that's when something nobody predicted begins. Air conditioning starts to redraw the map of America. For the whole history of the United States, the South had been hot, humid, and uncomfortable for most of the year. Industry and population clustered in the North and the Northeast, where the climate was easier to bear. Air conditioning upends that balance completely. From the 1950s on, millions of Americans begin moving south to Texas, Florida, Arizona, Georgia. Historians call it demigration to the Sun Belt. The population of Texas grows by 170% between 1950 and the year 2000. Air conditioning doesn't just cool homes, it moves entire cities. With the people come factories, offices, whole branches of the economy. The American South, poorer and less developed for centuries, begins to rise. Houston, Atlanta, Phoenix, these cities owe their size to a single invention, to a 25-year-old engineer from Brooklyn and his chilled air. Today, air conditioning uses roughly 10% of all the electricity in the world. In the United States, nearly 90% of homes have it. In India and Africa, the market is exploding. And by the year 2050, the world is expected to hold more than 4 billion air conditioners. And here's the paradox. Air conditioning shields us from the heat, yet it feeds the warming of the planet. More units mean more energy, more emissions, higher temperatures, and an even greater need for cooling. The loop closes on itself. So next time you switch on the air conditioning end, feel that wave of cool, remember one thing. This machine wasn't built for you. It was built for a Brooklyn print shop and its wrinkling paper. And then it changed the movies, moved millions of people, and redrew the map of the world. Subscribe so you don't miss the next story of an object you've never thought twice about. Because sometimes the biggest changes don't begin with grand visions. They begin with a simple problem. How do you keep paper from wrinkling?